Ah, hey, this is Nasty Neal.
And the Cinema Hunter.
And this is dinner.
And movie.
Ah, two movies.
Two movies today. We had I Saw the TV Glow.
Mm-hmm. And number two was In a Violent Nature.
Yes. Bow, bow, bow.
For our return episode of Dinner and a Movie.
It's been good.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
Yeah, it has been, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, here we are,
Mhm.
and we're in town at random benches. There's a gentleman up there who, as we were walking by, he's got his laptop. What did he say?
He said she was gonna marry me and all I had to do was sing.
Saying one.
Yeah.
It's quite odd. So now he's up there. But here we are, two movies. I can then do the little. This is one of the nice things about having my phone out. Now this is a super, super, super short. I tried to find a longer one.
All right.
For I Saw the TV Glow.
Mm-hmm.
Two teenagers bond over their love of a supernatural TV show, but it is mysteriously canceled.
Mm.
That's it.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
it says.
Yeah, I went in
So-
not knowing much about this. I'll be the second time I saw this one. First time I saw In a Violent Nature, and I would say I love this movie. I saw the TV Glow.
Tell me more.
I think it's
Tell them more.
all right. It's a super weird. It almost like a David Lynch kind of movie where I think a lot of it's up to your interpretation of what things mean. Really, just two characters. And I was really psyched into the movie. Second time around, I saw a lot of things in the movie that are talked about later on, which I thought was interesting. Things that are in the show that are actually in the reality, and vice versa. And I don't know, it's a movie that really sticks with me, and I like to. I'm still not exactly sure what it's all
What would you rate it?
about. I'll say 4.5. I think it's great. I can't go 5. I don't think, but I think it's great. I really
And
like
this has
it.
a lot of hype, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, I don't so much this one does, but the director's first movie was a really big indie film.
What is the reception of this?
I haven't seen a lot, honestly. So I had a guest on this week from Film Audit 2.0, the film festival, and this was one of his 3 favorite movies of the year, which I was happy. And he even mentioned, he said it doesn't have a lot of talk about it, and I was like, oh, I'm happy you brought that up because I like it as well.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, but you know what? I think it doesn't have a lot of talk because it was horrible.
Oh my god, I love it.
So
This movie.
bland. I'm just like, oh my god.
I loved it both times.
Everyone
Yeah.
involved in this movie is talented, lovely, and wonderful. But my opinion of the story is that so fucking. I kept thinking, all right, something's gonna happen, and then there were these like horror characters. I'm like, this is not. They're just lame. They're just lame. I think there was a real attempt at making it artsy, like a David Lynch.
Yeah.
But they tried to be
really,
artsy. I didn't feel like it was very creative at all. It seemed very randomly chosen things. It was not like a totally bad plot. I think it's something that was a good plot with a not so great execution. That girl, when she has her endless monologue, oh my, I'm like,
So it works for me.
Please end. It's just so boring.
I
so
disagree.
boring. I was hoping there's one point. I don't think it's a big spoiler in the whole movie.
Hey, Mikey B.
Is one of the kids starts getting sucked into the TV. I thought that was pretty cool, and I thought like the little scribbles and stuff, that was cool. That was unique and interesting. But I thought it was very flat. I did not enjoy this.
I loved it. I would definitely recommend it. It's and go in as blind as you can, because I guess it doesn't matter because I don't know. I just think it's a great movie. It's a very David Lynch like to me. It's I like the idea of you don't. So I don't know. I just say go watch it.
Yeah, go watch it. 100% go watch it. Always, always, always go watch anything, whether we like it or not. Go out in the world. It's wonderful that it exists. Go see it. Not
There was a
my-
lot more
not for
people
me.
in the theater this time than when I
There's a
went to
lot
see
of
it. When
people.
I first, and I saw it on opening weekend, there's hardly anybody there. So,
Well, I guess it's the hype. But no, this just wasn't. I don't know.
and I'm surprised.
I
I thought
thought
you really
there
liked
was a
it.
point in the movie, it was very far along after the monologue, and he has kind of like a touch of reality to him. And then I thought, oh, this is going to go someplace where we find out that this basically is in her mind, and then, but I'm like logically, it can't all be in her mind. But it's not. Like Eraserhead is straight crazy. It's like beginning to end, very cinematically unique story. All the elements are dreamlike. This was like, yeah. And I thought when we thought that she was actually crazy, and then I don't know. There's a whole fucking being in the fucking ground and blue barf. What the fuck is this? And I feel like there was no. Was there a haha moment to you? There's like a peak
but
of the
the stuff
film.
in, well, even just like the stuff being in the ground. I mean, that's kind of a big theme of his characters. He has a trouble breathing right from the beginning. He's got asthma.
The end.
But he has it from the beginning as time goes on. So the more time he's in reality, is he's suffocating. And maybe she was right that to get to the other world, you had to do this. So, and maybe the other character is. Anyway, it works for me.
Could be him all along. Maybe if I saw it again.
And I actually thought she was great in the movie. Honestly, I thought the actress was great. I was a big fan.
And some of the things they were like supposed to be to eat like
90s.
If you're gonna be in the 90s, there's no fucking thing a big bad in the 90s. No one fucking said that shit.
Big bad.
So
Yeah.
there were things that would like take me out. It was very jarring of someone's trying really hard.
I also like the element of when he goes
Missing
back. This is not necessarily a big theme of the movie, but when he goes back and watches it all, and he realizes it was like super lame and stuff. I like that because it's like I think people really get sucked up into nostalgia. That like everything that you grew up with is amazing, and then he goes back and looks at it. And it's like, oh,
But is that because it's the not real world trying to trick him? The real world is not the real
I don't know.
world,
It
and
could
it's
be
like,
that he's actually now seeing things the way they are.
No. But I would watch it again. I feel like anytime I see something I don't rate very high, I should see it again. And sometimes when I rate something high, I look back and I'm like, was I too kind? So
Yeah, I watched it twice now, and it worked for me both times.
Go see it.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 2. And I think that's generous. Based on story.
Yeah.
I feel like that's got to be
It's
really
not necessarily a
important.
story driven, but yeah.
It is not. And neither is it visually stunning.
Worked for me.
It's not.
The movie it does have a lot of buzz is in a violent nature.
Do you know why? Because it's awesome.
Really?
Are you kidding me? This movie was so great. The kills were insane. There are people laughing, and I love that so much because a lot of times you see a movie out and about in the normie world, then people don't laugh, and I feel, wow, I'm just totally psycho, which might be true, but this was many psychos in the audience who were laughing quite a lot, and it was fantastic, and I loved it. It was like, oh, let me read the thing. Let's see.
Hey, Mikey Bessler. I hit the wrong thing somehow, but we're back.
Aha. When a locket is removed from a collapsed fire tower in the woods that entombs the rotting corpse of Johnny, a vengeful spirit spurred on by a horrific 60-year-old crime, his body is resurrected and becomes hell-bent on retrieving it. It's so, I love it because it's not like a strikingly original from the plot of
no,
like a slasher.
It's presented. It takes a basic concept that's been done many times and does present it in a completely different way.
And I think it's so cool because it kind of like goes through the things that they're like, oh, you never run away because he's so slow, and you follow and he's so slow, and then it works, and it takes all these things that you're always like, oh, run or do this and do that, but it makes it work because people do slowly usually like they're like slow stalkers like
Yeah.
Jason and Michael Myers, and you've got all these slow dudes. How do they get them? Just run away. But it worked, and the kills were insane. And I
Kills
thought
were
the
great.
people were
Kills were great.
likable enough. The kids were.
Yeah.
I didn't love them,
Right.
but I didn't hate them. And a lot of times I hate them.
Yeah. I really want to like this a lot more. I do like the kills, and it's shot really well.
Oh,
But sometimes this movie is so incredibly boring.
like
It's
what?
just him walking for like minutes and
I
minutes.
just
and
imagine in
minutes.
his mind, though, like I'm in the mind, and I'm like, oh man, I'm like having my own dialogue in my mind about what's happening with him. So to me, it was very interesting and suspenseful.
Really, I thought there was no suspense at all until maybe the last the car ride.
I feel like the suspense was more. It was.
I
Like
really
using
thought it
my
felt it was
imagination,
void of all
like,
suspense,
really.
since it's like told like kind of through his like. I didn't think it mattered nothing. I thought to what was going to happen.
I think you do know what's going to happen, but I feel like seeing the choices that he makes at different times, I think that it was very video game.
I wish it was a little more of that, like when he sees like amulets and it goes into his head. He has a little bit of memories of what's left there. But there was probably like 40 minutes of walking.
There's a lot of walking. There is a lot of walking, but I feel like it's purposeful because you always know, like there's sounds, and you're on the other side of that killer.
It did feel like a video game, but I don't like those third person. I'm too old to have played a lot of them, but the ones I played, yeah, I mean, it was
like you're 60 years old.
No, but those kind of games were becoming popular when I stopped gaming. But where you're the guy walking around like I don't know, Wolfenstein, whatever.
Oh yeah, first person shooter.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I don't know. It didn't work.
But I loved it.
But it's
I
shot
like
really well.
Really in it, you're with this character. You know the motivations. You see how it unfolds. Sometimes you think he's going to go away, and it doesn't. And it's like a slow burn kind of thing.
Oh, it's very methodical, and I get all that.
And I like that.
So much of it. But everything looked great. The mask looked great. He looks great in and out of mask.
That was original stuff. I love that they had that. The story of the boy. It took all the things that are in their like just traditional plot of any slasher and made it fresh.
Yeah.
In a way that was different, like Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
That was wonderful. It was a great new addition to slashers.
Yeah.
It took it in a different direction, a modern direction.
Mm-hmm.
This was, it was present day.
Yeah, yeah. But no, it's presented like unlike really any other movie I've seen.
Definitely. Yeah.
It's totally original. I'll give all that to it.
Yeah. I loved it.
And there's a couple kill scenes that are really fantastic.
And I think it's offset with the ones that they're smaller.
Mm-hmm. I'll say that I agree with that. I saw someone say that because there are a couple kill scenes that are off camera, and someone complained about that. But I think if you had them all over the top, then eventually they don't mean anything. It gets very redundant, and you get desensitized to it. Honestly, I think that's a problem with Terrifier 2. I think there's like 13 over the top kills. It's like, okay, I've seen them all.
I'm glad you said that because I thought about Terrifier in the movie and that their kill scenes in this, some of them were, and no one's gonna know what I mean when I say it. So the yoga girl.
Yeah. That's gonna be up there for one of the best scenes of the year, honestly.
Oh my god.
That's why I'm saying I really wish I liked the movie.
Oh, so great. And
because there's the stuff I liked and I really liked a lot.
So great. Very creative, clever things. The new weapons. It acts.
Yes, that's very true. I'm sure someone does.
Wielders? Of the main.
Mars, but he's not necessarily big time.
He has an axe.
Yeah. Oh, I think someone else maybe.
But no one else has that hook chain.
No, that I've never seen that before.
It's so
That
rad.
was great.
Well, it's something
Very
very
brutal.
specific because it is a specific tool that a firefighter would use apparently. Oh my god! And then when they show how he gets that stuff, I think that's done very well because it's backstory, it goes to the place, and the history, and that ties together. I think there's some really not just unique kills, not just unique because you're following the guy, but there's some introduction of plot that's done in a very unique and clever way. I really liked it. There were some surprises. There were some things I did not expect to have happen.
Yeah, the whole end. That was actually
That was
I think the most essential part of the movie is like the whole car ride at the end. And I was thinking it was going a certain way, and it didn't. Yeah. But I did like the end, and it looks very good. It looks very good, and his hands look good.
See,
His hands look good. I'll be honest. Sometimes they're in the slasher movies or when they have like a lot of makeup on the hands, like you could tell they're like they look glove like, but these look really good.
Yeah, they look bloated. Yes, dead, bloated, and there's like no fingernails.
Yeah.
Gross. Gross. And the face. You didn't even mention the face is.
Back of the head's great. Face is great. The big reveal of the face.
Yep.
Unique mask.
Yeah, it's got.
But I would recommend going to see this too.
Yeah, it's super. I so prefer that.
What?
I so prefer this one.
Oh yeah, I'm not a fan of podcasts at all.
So it's like refreshing.
So I'm gonna go 3 with this one.
Oh man, this is my 4.5.
All right, very good.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it. Fantastic. Yeah.
Cool.
So
I went to see it.
Yeah, it was not a big giant review, I guess.
That's all right.
Yeah, they're pretty to the point.
Yeah, well, I think both are really original, and we split on which one we like better, but that's fine.
Yes, that's just evidence that we can each like different things.
Yeah.
Not hate each other, respect each other.
Yeah.
Disagree. It's okay.
I would like to see this again, which I probably will be seeing it again this week with my brother.
Nice.
I don't know. I think he probably will. I think he will.
Hopefully he'll be inspired.
Yeah.
For
Yes, Arbor Day. And Rybear will be on the show the 20th, who plays Johnny, killer.
Oh, cool.
The 20th. June 20th.
Well, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to not be there.
Well,
see what happens.
That's weeks away. It's like 3 weeks.
It's all a matter of exhaustion.
3 weeks, so you'll see what's going on.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see if I lose my job by then. I'll have a lot more time.
And thanks to Catatonic for sending that.
Oh, sweet! Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So who's out there in the audience now?
Mikey
Say
B.
hello.
Let us
You're
know if the
there.
audio is good because we didn't plug in the. Yes.
Yeah, sure. Give some questions.
Can you hear us okay? Because we didn't plug in a microphone since we're outside. We thought the audio would probably be all right. Yes. So let us know, Mike, what kind of questions you have.
If they're like questions about knowledge, I don't really have any.
Says the audio is good.
Okay.
You have
So,
no.
do you think Friday 13th film Jason X filed? Dang.
Let's put this up here.
Whoa.
Do you think the Friday the 13th film Jason X was critically reviled because it was a bad movie, or was it poorly received because people were tired of the franchise and had jumped the shark? I saw it years later and I really liked it.
So,
Yeah.
I think this is great.
This
Did
is.
we go to another movie or we just
We
left?
did. No, we went to Is it the Penitentiary movie?
Oh my God, that movie's great.
Yeah, it was
I just saw some people shit on it the other day. I thought it was
Really?
great.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
I think so. Penitentiary or jail or prison or something.
Yeah, it's about electric chair
Yeah.
in prison.
I asked this guy. So I watched this guy. What's his name? I can't think of his name. But anyway, he was a big jewel thief. Went to prison for like 15 years, and now he does YouTube videos. And he does all kinds. I started watching him because he does YouTube videos. The first ones I watched was he showed how to make. He did cooking videos of stuff they made in prison.
Oh
like,
yeah, I remember you telling me about
and
this.
then I started watching his other stuff. And so he has a lot of like he'll review movies. He does a lot of social videos about like prison, like people's rights in prisons, how they treat prisoners, stuff like that. So he's a really well-rounded guy, very interesting. I like him a lot. And so I pitched the idea of him coming on and doing like 2 or 3 horror movies that take place in prison. But I didn't reply. But that was one of the ones I suggested.
That's very cool.
So Jason X. So I think there is part of the people who didn't like it, not really so much that the franchise had gone on so long, because I think the reason why they made it is because the people wanted to keep seeing it more Friday the 13th movies. But I do think there is a part of the audience that dismissed it because it takes place in space. I also just don't think it's particularly good. But
This wasn't the one where he smashed the person.
It's got some great kills, including that.
Oh my God,
That's a great kill. Yeah.
But the people are horrible. I'm so annoyed with them.
It's got good production value. I actually think the idea is good.
Yeah.
I think if you just told me you're throwing him into space, it's kind of silly.
So he's
But
just frozen.
well, yeah, they freeze because they realize they can't destroy him, so they freeze Jason, and in the future he's thought out. And I think that's actually an interesting idea.
I think it's pretty interesting as well. It takes it in a different direction. Where else can you take it?
Right.
Way on Earth, not a lot of places.
And the author Todd
Jason goes to
Farmer
Japan.
was on the show, a really cool guy, and then in Once a Future Smash. And he had said that his original idea was to do more of these, where like there was other like famous slashers that were like brought to the future. It kind of like would do battle like.
Oh.
And then I was like
crossovers.
Yeah, so I was like an alien, and then I was like, what?
Oh.
I was I pitched him that on the show. I was like, it'd be like like some alien race would bring him on some planet for like gladiator games. Yeah, so but you like that, but so I don't know what his whole plot was for all that other stuff, but I think it's an original idea, and I mean it's weird though. When you're watching it, it's very much like a Friday the 13th movie though. It's the same basic idea. It's young adults having sex and getting killed, and they even have the hologram deck with the Camp Crystal Lake is. But like people really love Uber Jason. I think it's a more well-liked movie now than it was.
I'm not a Friday the 13th person, so I shouldn't be one to criticize. It's fine, but I'm not like married to the series.
To me,
I'm probably not
the real unheralded champion is Jason Goes to Hell, because it is almost like hated by everyone.
I remember the cover.
Jittery John, who's a huge Friday the 13th fan, he hates it. It's the only one he doesn't like.
Why? This is reason.
Because like Jason's like a worm that goes into people, and
oh man, maybe I haven't even seen this.
I love it. So I told this story a million times. I went to see it when I was a kid. My friend Joey, his brother Rob dropped us off at the theater. On the way, he paid for the gas with a big bowl of unrolled pennies, and the guys looked at him. Let's get out of here. But he took the pennies. So we're in there. So it's me and Joey and one other guy in the theater. And the beginning of the movie, so Jason, they blow up Jason. They blow him up. They set him up with like I don't know if it's a cheerleader, a woman running around.
Yeah.
And then the government and the military comes and blows him up. And so then his body, they have him in the morgue, they're doing the autopsy, or whatever. And for whatever reason, the guy doing the autopsy grabs his heart, his black heart, and he bites into it. And me and Joey burst into laughter. And they got the one other guy there was so pissed, and then he just sat there the whole movie pissed while me and Joey laughed. And I always remember, but that was the dumbest movie I've ever seen. And I watched it years later for when we had the Marcus Adam Marcus who wrote it on the show, who directed it, and I watched it again. And I'm like, you know what? I think I love this movie now. It's so batshit crazy. It's so insane. I love it. There's the crate is in it from Creep Show. Oh, really?
Roaming around.
The crate from Creep Show's in it. You have you have the
Wow.
Necronomicon's in it.
Show it.
Yeah, Necronomicon's in
Fluffy in
it.
it?
No. Oh yeah, it's over there. The demon. I mean the catamaran. What is it? The dagger. So and then he has said, Adam Marcus, that because people then had the theory that Jason is actually a Deadite.
Oh, I
So
remember
that's,
hearing about that.
and so the
What do you think about that?
nah, I don't think so. I don't think it fits into the because he doesn't talk or anything. But the I do like, and I wish they didn't say things back then. I wish there was an uncut version because there's like images of the big giant demon that like
Worm demon?
yeah he's a worm, then he turns into like a big ass demon. It's really wild. And then there's like a bunch of little demons and they all drag him down to hell. I stand by Jason Goes to Hell.
That's the third one? It's pretty early on.
No, it's the ninth
Oh,
one.
the Final Friday of 1993.
It's the ninth one. Then he goes to space. Is that right? Yeah, Jason Goes to Hell, then Jason X. But if we're just going to talk just fans of Friday the 13th, I think the first four movies flow together. I like the first four movies where Jason is mortal. I think they're the best. I know people argue that he's not mortal in 2, 3, 4, but he is. When he
is, so says you.
I think it's obvious. And then when he comes back, when Horshack from Welcome Cotter
So that
brings him back as a Frankenstein. I know people think 6 is. Some people think that's the best. I'm not a big fan of after that. But of all those where he's a zombie Jason movies, Jason Goes to Hell's where it's at, and I stand by that.
This.
Yeah, I think that's actually it.
Really coming up with nothing here.
Look up at Jason Demon. Goes to Hell Demon. I remember trying to get into Jason Takes Manhattan when I was about 14 and got turned away. I had to see Turner and Hooch instead.
Turner and Hooch.
So
I'm so sorry.
This is a true story. Unlike all the other stuff I say is lies. No, when I was a kid, my mom wrote me a note that I could go see Silence of the Lambs is rated R. And then I kept it in my wallet in case I would ever see some other R-rated movie and they would say something. Never you had to use it ever. I was never carded my whole life until I was like 40 years old and we went to see Leatherface 3D, Texas Chainsaw 3D.
Yep, and we went to the barbecue place on Newbury Street, which is a very fancy place.
Yeah. Jamie likes
Turner and
Hooch.
Hey, how's it going, Jamie? So yeah, we went up to this place. It was pretty busy, but not totally packed. There's no lie. And Neal already had grade as weird. Not like crazy grade, but it was there. Like strands. It's not like someone tried to dye their, and they asked him for his ID, and the man doesn't have a driver's license.
You have a
And I
state
think he had
ID.
yeah, but they didn't want to accept it.
Yeah, they said we can't accept that.
No.
It's like, well, what
and
the
then
hell's
I
the
gave them
point
their
of it?
talking to.
What is
and
the
I think
point
they let
of
us in.
Yeah.
After I scolded them for being dumb.
And then the other movie I went to see myself and I was carded for it was the new Rambo.
Super.
No, it's terrible.
Did you love it?
No.
No. Are you sure? Do you need to see it again?
No, I like John Rambo. Is it Rambo 4? That one's really good. Then they did another one. But the original movie,
Still haven't seen it.
really, the original film's is great.
On my movie list is
It's not called Rambo. The original movie's
First Blood.
And the book is great.
You said this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Movie's good too. Movie's really good too.
Yeah. I need like a week out of time that I can just not. I don't exist in reality aside from watching movies. No time passes in the real world that I can just commit to film and have like a master list of movies, such as First Blood.
Yeah, no,
And
I
Jason
recommend it.
Goes to Hell. I mean, it's like going to be a whole
Yeah, that's a big double
marathon.
feature. First Blood and Jason Goes to
So
Hell.
Mark Anastasio out there at the
Yeah.
Coolidge, double feature.
So when I was listening to First Blood, so I go on my walks, I'm listening to audiobooks, I'm listening to First Blood, and it's he's walking around, John Rambo's walking around, the cops like, get out of town, buddy, you're not wanted here. But so he goes back to town, goes and orders cheeseburgers and stuff, and then the guy just drives him out of town to get the hell out of here.
Really?
And then turns back around. He's like, fuck that, I'll go back into town. So I'm walking around, and then I noticed, I'm thinking, I'm just I'm listening to a book, but I felt like I'm like some badass now. I'm freaking John Rambo. I'm just gonna walk. But no, it's great. And the book does a better job, I think, though, of not painting either character as the bad guy.
Oh, they're just
or the good guy,
circumstance.
honestly. So yeah. The movie does too, but I think the book does a better job of showing that both of them are have PTSD from war and from different wars and different eras. So the one guy's from World War II, the older guy, and then the other guy's a younger guy from Vietnam. But great story. Great story. Not uplifting. I might have thought differently about Turner and Hooch if I had actually gone to see it. But I was 14 years old and stoked about seeing a horror movie. The girl I was with was so mad she took my pocket knife and cut up the theater seat. Damn. Man, I didn't think Mikey B was like a rebel.
Girl, cut up a seat? Dude. I don't know. Watch out, man.
What?
Those blades are illegal in Massachusetts. It can't be more than like an inch and a half. It's some dumb.
Yeah.
Serious Massachusetts. The guy is standing. I'm scared. He's gonna come over and sing us. Singing with pocket knife and tore up this. Is this a true thing? Like the girl is crazy. Can she find you? I'm fearful for your life.
Now they're married.
Because he just sang one thing.
It was my brother and his girlfriend at the time took me and my friend Paul to go see what's the vampire movie? Fright Night.
Oh, really? Wow.
And yeah, I was young, but no one cared about me. But he was not allowed to see R-rated movies, Paul. And so I don't forget if it was
Fright Nights are?
Yeah.
Why? Scary.
Yeah.
Just don't do it, right? It's not crazy violent.
I didn't rate it.
I'm just saying, can you think of anything that would make that an R-rated movie?
There's blood in it.
Chris Sarandon is too sexy for the screen.
Yeah. And so we I forget, it was either The Dark Crystal or The Black Cauldron, whichever movie was out at the same time. And so he told his parents that he was going to see that, and I had already seen it. So I had to explain to him the whole plot on the way home, because he said they would actually ask him about it. I guess they were like,
so tell me this.
Yeah.
Tell me this. They'd go see it like behind his back.
I don't know. Yeah.
You have a written exam.
Yeah.
Multiple choice.
Yeah, I don't know. He's on my Facebook. He's like, oh, I see you around town one day. He told me. I was like, why don't you ever say hello? It's weird.
Maybe he feels uncomfortable. You're such a star. He doesn't want to approach you. He's afraid of your
He had contacted me
magnificence.
not too long ago because he's got a bunch of kids, and
That's why he
was
doesn't want to say hello.
he was trying to get him into board games, and he was asking about some of the board games he played. And one we used to play a lot. I think it's called Solar Quest, and it was a Monopoly like ripoff, but you had to go and buy planets.
Oh.
It was really fun. So like all the planets of like, Mars were like, how like you have the blue properties and stuff. So it'd be like all the ones of the different. And Pluto just has the one. It's Charon.
Yeah.
Now Pluto's not even a planet anymore. But anyway, it was a really cool game.
It's an almost planet. They changed their mind. It's a small planet.
You would get caught in the gravitational pull. So you had to get rocket fuel to fly out if you wanted to get out. Like if you were in the gravitational pull of Uranus, you had to get rocket fuel to fly out. It was cool. It was good.
Was it specifically that planet?
I mean, it was all of them: Uranus, Saturn, all the ones with the.
They call it Uranus.
Oh, they do.
It's still Uranus. It's not that
Yeah,
big a
it's
step
true.
up, but it is a step up. I suppose.
That's when I found out that Titan.
Now, what is that?
Titan the moon. What's Titan the moon? Titan, is it Uranus?
I don't think so.
Saturn. It was at the time anyway. Maybe they know more now. But at the time, I learned from that game, it was the only moon with the atmosphere.
Wow. Must be quite large.
Yeah, you could possibly live on Titan.
Yeah, I'm concerned for him now. Man, is the same.
Yeah.
Laptop is now on the ground on his hands and knees. I don't know if he's drunk.
Adam's saying there was see-through clothes on Amanda Bear's.
Oh.
That's it. As I always loved that movie. I loved it as a kid. I think it's even better movie now when I watch it.
Yeah, it's great.
It plays on a lot of levels. I think it predates. Whenever predates the movie, but I think Scream gets a lot of credit for being like the first horror movie that's self-referential to the the rules of the horror film of slasher films.
So clearly there because
Fright Night's doing Fright Night is doing the same thing for vampire movies.
Definitely. I can't remember the names. The main character's got like an odd name.
You get Evil Ed, you got Brewster. So cool, Brewster.
Yeah. Vincent.
Yeah, and then the
Mr. Vincent.
Main vampire, like he's fantastic in the movie. He's like,
that doesn't work because you don't believe.
Yeah, and he knows how to try. He knows how to seduce all the characters.
Yes.
So he knows what the girls like. Yeah, this guy.
Seduce Brewster.
No,
he's too clever.
He tries, but I mean, he knows exactly how to get to Evil Ed. Like you even feel bad for Evil Ed, and then and it's point like, oh, maybe this guy's really. But then oh, he's just evil, and he's just really he knows that this guy's got no friends and stuff. And he knows that the girl, like, she wants like a real man, not like the boyish kid. I don't know. It's got a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff in that movie. And then
when she's trying to have sexy time.
Yeah, and then then he's even more evil in that because it's almost like you think he's really in love with her, like a Dracula character. But then he's just like he just throws her in the room with Brewster. Basically, like, yeah, but if Brewster could kill her, he don't really freaking care.
But he doesn't care. He definitely doesn't.
So he's just he does a great job of really showing like you can believe that he's really trying to you can see why they'd be seduced by this guy. It's good.
He's a manly man.
No, he's great in it. It's a great movie all around, and it's very funny. Everything works in it. Yeah. It's way better now in the remake. Yeah, the remake's definitely not as good. I don't hate the remake though. I think it's not bad. I think it's a fine movie, but the original is great. think so. That's good. You have any other questions here? Do we miss any?
I don't know.
If anyone here has some questions, let us know. One more, Shocker and the Horror Show came out right about the same time, and they were somewhat similar. Which one do you think was better and why? Yeah, they definitely were similar. I remember Shocker pretty well, but I don't remember the Horror Show very well because I don't think I've seen it since then. Yeah. I think they both are a similar idea, where the guy gets killed and then his ghost comes back.
So distracted. Sorry.
Coast is late.
Toast.
Adam's late. Did you? Yeah, we reviewed both the movies. I'm a big fan of I Saw the TV Glow. Annabelle was not. Annabelle really loved In a Violent Nature, and I liked a lot of it, but I did not love the movie. I wish I would have liked it more.
Loved it. Violent. When we say it's violent nature, it's violence in nature. It's just
if you cut out about
so great
40 minutes of walking.
I feel like it builds.
Mike says the horror show is a lot grittier and grislier. I should rewatch that. I don't think I've seen it.
We need a list.
Yeah, we need a list. Check it twice. I like these ideas though because I would like to get some guests on from from stuff that I love to have a guest from anything, but it's cool to get some people on from stuff that's not been done like a million times. You mean? I like all that stuff too, but it's cool to
stuff that's obscure that some people might really want and that we should revisit or see for the first time. A lot of stuff I've seen for the first time.
Yeah, I've tried to get guests on from some of my favorites. Sometimes it works out.
Yes.
Like Motel Hell. But I've never been able to get anyone on from Humanoids from the Deep.
Oh, but doesn't she like?
Yeah, she's not. She's
distanced herself.
She's not happy with how the movie came out.
Well, those things happen. People love it. She doesn't. That's unfortunate.
So, Emma brought up Arbor Day earlier. We were doing some talks about that. I'm really excited about it. I'm glad Troy's excited about it. I'm glad Annabelle's excited about it.
For those who are unfamiliar, Arbor Day is an up-and-coming, Without Your Head production feature started by Neal. He's coming up with all of the stuff with like a little sprinkling of stuff from others. Troy is doing effects and props and things like that. I'm drawing some storyboarding and stuff like that. Did some of that today-ish. Yeah, organizing.
Yeah.
Trying to take Neal's ideas and put them in line. You've been mentioning the story.
Yeah, by Ty. Ty Chainman's a good man. I don't know. I think we might have froze. Hopefully we didn't freeze. Just it'll go. Hopefully, are we froze? Let us know.
You look deep in thought.
Yeah. Are we moving? Oh, here we go. Ty Chainman's a good man. We'll be on the show coming up soon. But yeah. So Arbor Day, I'm really excited about.
Yes,
Originally, it was going to be a silly short film, and and it's really expanded. And I'm very happy with it. And so I originally was going to dye the beard blonde, but I stopped using Just for Men, and it actually
is kind of blondish.
Yeah.
Because it's silver.
Yeah. It's actually I don't
sun in from the 90s.
Yeah, I don't think it's as gray as it used to be, oddly enough. Yeah, but I don't know. But anyway, I think it kind of goes well with the. I grow my hair out for the movie because I'm such a great actor. And then I shave it off when I'm doing these shows.
This is actually a bald cap.
Exactly. Yeah, we froze. That was weird. So this is an interesting. I think, In a Violent Nature will spawn so many more movies from the killer's point of view, but I felt August Underground kind of did that, but more in a found footage way. Wasn't a fan of either of those films.
No, I have to say. Do you mean both this one or the August Underground ones?
I think in a violent nature, look, I really like the guy who made August Underground. I'm not a fan, big fan of the movies. I think his greatest film is, I'm not going to remember the name of it, but it was his more recent film. It was absolutely great. It was about a serial killer who's on death row, and a guy comes to the reporter comes to talk to him. It's set in the 80s, and it really captures the feel of the 80s. And I don't mean like here's a Rubik's cube, like it actually feels like something that was shot in the 80s. And it's really basically just dialogue between these two characters. It's kind of like a Geraldo Rivera interviewing, the serial killer who's on death row, about to be killed. Great movie, completely different than all his other stuff. I brought this up in the interview. I think because it was so different than his other movies, the fans of his other movies probably weren't into it. And
Yeah,
unfortunately, I do think because of his strong connection to the August Underground movies, people that really would have, final interviews called, the crowd that would have really liked this, like myself, I don't think they saw it because of his connection to the movie. So
I don't know.
Yeah.
I tried to watch it. I didn't even know if I wanted to come on the show, to be honest. I was really.
It was a really good interview.
It was a good interview.
But in a violent nature, even though I really would like to wish I liked it better, but it's definitely really well made. It looks great. Some of the kills are really fantastic. I'm gonna watch it again.
The idea of it looks great. There are some moments that truly look like they're from the 80s. There's like a grit to them.
Yeah.
I don't think it's every single scene is like this, but there is a quality to.
And I say that a lot. That's something that I like.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have, when they make stuff that's set in the 80s. I joke about the Rubik's Cube, but not only that, they think just like the big colorful stuff and big hair and all that stuff. But like the stuff that I think about are the gritty films, like Vice Squad or Basket Case, or I don't know. That's the stuff that I think of when I think of 80s. So, and I agree, that's a good point. And it's also, all this stuff's not just brutal, like the kills in a violent nature, but you could tell like the stuff's there. There's a weight to it. You know what I mean?
Oh, there might be some bodies at some points, and I think they're so great the way you can tell it's not just like, it is prop, obviously,
sure,
but there is like you can sense like this body would be smaller, bigger, and that they would weigh more, they drag different. I don't think I'm giving anything away. There's bodies.
And there's a couple scenes that are like long kills. The one in particular people think will talk about. There's some other ones though that are long, and I really was wondering, like, man, this would have been hard to pull off, like how they did the kills.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's so clever, so creative, amazing. I can only imagine like writing out some of this stuff and questioning whether or not it could even be put to film. And there had to be effects people that talked them through. Yes, it can be done.
I need to rewatch it. I do think that it just had too much walking. But
yeah, I can understand the criticism. It worked for me, but I can.
I can't say I disliked it at all. So. You're both excited for the new Silent Hill movie based on the scariest one, Silent Hill 2. I'll be honest, I've never played Silent Hill games. I've never seen a Silent Hill film.
I feel like I should say, but I remember when they were out in the arcade, back when there were arcades, and bugs or feathers. Don't be a spider flying through the night.
What is this? These
what, the arches, lights?
Yeah, they're cool looking, but it seems like they were something else one time.
Oh, like doorways?
Yeah.
So, but I like the character look. I wish the Resident Evil movies were more.
I like the last one. I never played the game, so I don't know. But I like the last Resident Evil.
I don't think we saw it together.
No.
Yeah, now. So
I was so scared I kicked my Xbox across the room. Swear I broke my toe. I remember my brother's big in those games, so he would probably know. I remember he was saying like some of those games were like as scary as movies. Sweet Home. No, Adam Freeman is a filmmaker, and he's Todd Yeager is executive producer on one of his films.
Stop.
Yeah, and so Todd,
Really?
so Todd was asking if Adam could come on the show, and we'll say here absolutely.
That's awesome. He's
Uh,
a good guy.
Sweet Home, 1989, The Godfather of
1031.
Resident Evil. Oh, interesting. I was thinking, man, my
Look at roach.
you have more problem with the roach than the rats.
You can see the rat coming, and
I think rats are
roaches
cute.
don't. They don't know. They don't care. You are an item to them. You are not a person.
I'll be
that
honest,
they want to stay
I
away
think the rats
from.
are cute.
That's what good pets they say. You should get a rat. It's good.
I like a cat.
Get a cat. You've already got Gus. What if Gus and your cat got in a fight?
Gus also has a big brother. Well, I don't know if it's his brother, but or sister, but there's a big black cat over there, but he never comes over and talks to me.
These are Neal's neighborhood cats.
Yeah. So there's Gus the cat. Then up the street is Elias, who's a great big poodle who's really awesome. And he's huge. I don't know.
He's standard poodle.
Yeah, he's a real big poodle.
Yeah.
And he came up to me and he looked like this. He started hitting me like on. He would jump on. He's like when he's up on his PAs and he's banging like this on my. And his owner, he's like, "You don't want to play with you." I was like, "I don't want." And then so I started playing with him, and then he went down like this on and put his paws way up to the side, and then he jumped back up. Yeah, and it was. And he came over. He's like, he really hates strangers and people with hats. So I don't know why he was. I was like, oh, animals like these. That was cool. Him, and then there's also. You're just a nice guy. And then there's also Chewy, who's a big black furry dog. I don't know what kind of dog he is, but the very first time I saw him, the woman who walks him, I don't know the owner's names, but the she was walking him, and I saw him in the distance. So like that little girl. No, she's not a girl. She's a woman. But that little woman's not going to be able to hold that dog. It's like twice as big as her. And so it came running at me, and I didn't know it. So I was like, oh, shit. Like, I don't know if it's going to attack me, but it was just nice. And she comes, sorry. And then now every time she sees me, she just lets it loose. And he's like, go say hi to your friend. And now after time, though, he'll run up to me, and he'll just kind of run around me, then go back to her. And I was like, I'm yesterday's news. It's not that exciting. She knows my name, but I don't know how. I don't know how she knows it. Sweet Home 899, The Godfather Resident Evil. So check that out.
Yes. Read a list.
Your list and check it twice.
Somewhere on without your head. You used to be able to do like notes.
Yeah. To the notes.
Yes. I don't think there's any notes anywhere on Facebook
No,
anymore.
yeah, I don't think so.
So sad. I wonder what happened to our notes.
I don't know. It's a good question.
Google now.
Yeah. So, let me show
the notes where Neal and I used to write our clever ideas down together.
This is a little.
Oh.
So one of the perks when we launched the Arbor Day, which will be soon, probably in the next month or so, we launched the Arbor Day Kickstarter or whatever it is, the a crowdfunder. One of the perks, probably in my case the coolest, but a really cool perk, is going to be the Arbor Day patch. Look at this.
You get the patch, but not the hat.
Not the hat. This is the patch. Self-adhesive patch. I also sewed this on, so it stayed on here really well. But self-adhesive patch.
And artwork. The reason to not do the hat is not that the cheapness of Neal. It's because
then you can do whatever you want.
Whatever hat. Yeah.
You put on a hat, a shirt. Just keep it whatever you want to do. I'm afraid of no trees. So Troy did the original artwork, and then I vectorized it, and then I had patches made, and they're great. I love them.
Pretty sweet.
Yes.
So up and coming Arbor Day.
I did the color. But yeah, it's amazing. And it's 100% embroidered. It's not a cheap patch. Sweet. Well, thank you, Adam. He sent the full movie.
Yeah.
We'll check that later.
So I think maybe we're gonna see Dark.
Let's ask Adam. Mike Bessler out there, coast to coast, he's in here. Should we go see the midnight
Should I punish myself and stay
Screening.
up overnight?
of Darkman, Sam Raimi's Darkman?
Then I'll probably have to pull over on my way home, feeling like I need to vomit.
And that's
so tired.
oh, I thought just because it was extended hours with me.
Well, I wasn't gonna say it. New.
The Ghoulies 2. Go see it, but don't harm yourself. Hell yes. Sure. I'll be honest. I saw Darkman in the not drive-in. It would have been after drive-in, but at the theater when I was, I think I was probably in high school, maybe even junior high. I don't know what year it came out. I don't know. What year did Darkman come out? You know, if not, I don't know. I've not seen it since.
Darkman.
I graduated in '94, so it's probably high school.
Farm Man.
Maybe I was in my 20s. I don't know.
What's the next movie gonna be? Farm Man. Feature.
Oh no, I have 3 feature. Oh, so yeah. Oh shit, I would have been.
Scarred scientist uses 99-minute masks.
I was junior
to trap
high.
Gangsters.
I was in junior high.
Danny Elfman does the music.
Wow, I would have been in 8th grade.
Youngster, you.
My junior high school was in the high school, which was very strange
because we're youth.
Yeah, so it's seventh grade. I'm 13, and then you're on the school bus with seniors who are 18, and there's a huge difference. Yeah, it was a weird. Sam Raimi.
That guy's gonna take care of it.
Don't cut up the theater with your pocket knife. I probably should put the pocket knife in my. I probably should say it.
Yeah.
I should probably put it in my backpack. I use it a lot when I'm walking around when I'm.
What the hell are you doing with it?
You use the scissors.
When you're walking?
Yeah, if I want to.
For what?
If I have something with me that I need scissors.
How often do you use
to cut packets of olives that I bring with me? I use the knife to cut orange if it's a thick one. I've been eating Cara oranges because some oranges are out of season, and so
I don't trust my orange
abilities. So I use the knife to cut it.
I don't want to waste my money on fruit that doesn't taste right, so then I just send them out.
Cara. Well, see, navel oranges are very hit or miss. Cara oranges are very good. They're not sumo oranges, but they're pretty good. They're also not expensive. Try Cara orange. You'll thank me.
Send me a text.
All right. That's pretty gangster of you, Neal.
I always used to have it. I put it in my shoe. I go out by myself and I don't. No one.
Oh, I used it to cut a mango yesterday too, a honey mango.
I used to have my knife and I cut mangoes when we'd go on trips. I'd always have that knife with me. It's a very electric vehicle. It sounds weird.
I used to have I still have it, but I don't carry it with me. But I had I still have it. It's a survival knife, and it's got the end comes off, and it's got all this
with like matches in it
and stuff. Yeah, and
like
one of
compass?
the things was it's compass at the end of it. And one of the things, it's actually interesting enough. I have a real survival knife too that my uncle had one from the actual, and they don't have compass on the end because it's actually very impractical. It has a hammer on the end. If you have a compass on the end, you're gonna smash it.
Yeah.
But anyway, the one I had the compass on the end, and I had the other one too. But the compass on the end.
Or like the thing that's gonna.
No, it's an actual hammer. So well, yeah, you could do whatever, but the idea you could hammer nails with it. So. I used to get all that stuff. I was telling that to my brother the other day. We used to get all this stuff because my uncle was a big military guy. He would bring us all kinds of stuff. Those days are long. But anyway, one of the things on there was a saw, but it was just a wire saw. So you unraveled it, so it's about this long, and it had like two hooks, not
Yeah.
hooks, but two circles.
Yeah.
And one
So
time,
awesome tit.
yeah, we actually sawed a table in half, a picnic table. It took forever. It took
God.
like days.
Where was that?
It was just
Whose table was
it was in these
this?
cottages, but that no one like they were no one they were like abandoned for years. So we'd go and hang out there. Their own now. This is where a friend of mine was digging a hole. His idea was he was going to dig a tunnel from the from the cottages under the highway and come out like where the ice cream place was.
That would be awesome if it worked.
Right. But it ended up just being a deep hole.
Could he jump into it?
Yeah.
He could fit in it?
Yeah. It was big enough per person.
Wow.
It
Did
didn't
he have
go
to
anywhere.
scoot down,
Though.
or was it like a
No, I mean it was just a
height?
hole. It didn't go anywhere.
But could he stand straight up?
No, wasn't quite that. It's probably like
pitiful hole.
it's probably 4 or 5. We could have used it for Arbor Day, but it was probably 4 or 5 feet deep.
Is that gonna be part of Arbor Day? Digging a hole?
Yeah, actually, we need it for
Really?
for a couple of effects.
Oh. Well, I've got some great shovels.
All right.
There's a lot of stuff. Make sure that Troy isn't buying a bunch of stuff
Yeah.
because I could have a whole lot of things. There's a whole shed full of tools. I got a bunch of
Coast called into Without Your Head this week.
What?
I opened the video lines. Coast
Aw,
called in. That was cool.
I miss Coast.
Coast to coast.
Man, that's a bummer. Well,
He can keep that like he could never call him again.
yeah. Someday I'll be back on
Yeah,
track.
it'll be good.
We'll be good.
I'm glad
miss the
we're hanging
show.
out.
Definitely. Yeah, it's easier on the
I haven't seen you for a long time. Forgot what you looked like.
Is it really been a long time?
It's been a few weeks. It's been a while.
Oh, because I had the fucking car shit to deal with.
Yeah.
But
You missed. I didn't even bring that. That's still playing up because this is one I don't want to watch again. Is The Strangers Part 1?
Did you tell them about it?
No, The Strangers Part 1. There's one. Okay, I always try to. People are always say, they're always anti. Oh yeah, he called in.
Yeah. Did you go?
Oh, he's a good guy. Coast called as a second. Yeah, good man. Coast to coast. We need to think of a cool horror name for Coast. So
Coast is good.
yeah, no, it's Killer Coast. So yeah. So people are always like, always trashing the idea of remakes, and I don't like to be that guy. So like, if you're gonna remake something, the idea of that's not bad to me, okay? Because if it was no remakes, we wouldn't have John Carpenter's The Thing. We wouldn't have Martin Scorsese's Cape Fear. We wouldn't have the 70s Invasion and Body Snatchers, which I think most people consider the best one, even though the 50s one's really good too. And the newer one's good too. We wouldn't have, like I said, Cape Fear. We wouldn't have The Fly, which a lot of people think the 80s, or whatever. Yeah, Jeff Goldblum, Fly. A lot of people consider that the best one. There's lots of things you wouldn't have. I actually like the first one better, but yeah. So anyway, all those great movies we wouldn't have if there was the idea of no remakes.
But those are
The Strangers Part 1, to me, is exactly why people don't like remakes. It did nothing new at all. It's the exact same story.
Excuse me.
Only done worse than the first one.
So there's no it felt like that was a bug.
So not to spoil the first Strangers, but what a lot of people love about the first Strangers, the original movie, is the ending line. So have you ever seen The Strangers? I don't want to spoil it for you.
Oh yeah.
So the end is like, why are you doing this to us? And it's because you're here. So the idea is this is very scary because there is no motivation. They're just going to kill people. I'm not a big fan of the movie, but I understand why that's scary. It's sort of a little different, but like Michael Myers, the original Halloween is just evil.
Yes.
So it could be any. It could have happened anywhere. So this is sort of the same idea. These people just want to kill people, so you can't avoid that. So I get why that would be scary to some. And that was the original idea. I think that's a cool line. It's original, so I get why that's appealing to people. Why people find that very terrifying. So I see the trailer for The Strangers Part 1. They say that line in the trailer, and I was like, either they just give away the whole point of the movie in the trailer, or they're doing something completely different. Which, okay, hopefully they're doing something different, which you should anyway. Watch a movie, same friggin' story. The line's near the end. Like, what the hell? They gave away this in the trailer. If you didn't see it, if you already seen it, why would you need to see this? It's not scary. It's not suspenseful. It's super boring. It's just these guys. The whole movie, the basis of the whole movie is, aren't these masks creepy? And it's like, no, not really. I mean, maybe if I'd never seen them before, but I've seen like these masks in the other movie, and I've seen them a million other times. And do we need a trilogy? And people are like, well, it's not a remake. It was a prequel. But they do the exact same thing, and they answer no questions. You don't even see who they are or anything. So, do we need 3 of these?
Apparently, they make money.
Well, who knows? That's another thing. They go into these movies like, we're going to make a trilogy. Maybe you should see if people want a sequel before you want. Because like The Last Exorcist, I didn't dislike, but it was bashed by most of the fans. They didn't like it.
I mean, there's no comparison.
No. But they announced right away it's a trilogy. But no one wants a trilogy of that. So the guy who made it got so I think depressed, he just quit. He's not doing it.
Aww.
So they hired the guy who's a really good director. I forget his name. I think you have family know.
Oh yeah, Mike Flanagan.
Mike Flanagan,
Yeah.
which is cool, but it's not going to be connected to the last one. That's like they're obligated to make 3 of these, so they have to make another one.
So I feel like that's fine, because that was what was going to happen with the original Halloween movies.
True.
Which everybody is like, a lot of people are like, well, why didn't they just keep doing that? That would have been great.
Yeah.
But no, people wanted Michael Myers again, and
It's
they kind of screw themselves by having the 2 in a row, because I think it could be good.
Yeah.
I like.
It's almost like they're rebooting it again, but I mean, I don't really want to see a continuation of the last one. So
it's going back in time. I will say of the last one that the religious people really were. All of them. They were really.
Remake should be for something that could be better, like how I remake a shot on video film. Some people don't like SOV, but yeah, I think maybe not even just better, but different.
Yeah.
This is a thing that Eric Bischoff, a wrestler, said, but I do think it's true for everything. Is like, you're either better than, less than, or different than. So if you can't make something better than this other version, you gotta make it different. So yeah, something different. It doesn't always have to necessarily be better.
I think the tough thing is that when things in the 80s remade stuff from black and white era stuff that had a certain vibe that was not realistic. Like the people were not.
It was a different type of acting.
Yeah.
That really changed with the guy played The Godfather, Marlon Brando. Like that brought in like a realistic version, a more, because older movies had like a theatrical acting, and those things weren't as accessible either. Like they'd be on TV or something. You couldn't go like rent those movies or just stream them everywhere or buy them.
So I think that it's harder to recreate that today, because the 80s films, I mean, some of them were goofy, obviously, but something like The Thing, I think people would still make those same choices today.
And The Strangers was like in the early 2000s, 2008 or something. It's not even that old.
Oh, I just mean to say, like, if you made another thing now, you might be able to make it different, Sure, but I think it's harder to make the change because there was such a big difference between stuff that was made in black and white days and stuff that was made in the 80s, or even like Invasion of the Body Snatchers in the 70s.
And the Strangers, like, there's no there's no difference to it.
It's just not good.
Yeah, I don't. That one's really baffling.
Well, I would say we should probably wrap this up.
All right.
Head over to the vehicle.
All right.
Get on over to the theater and make sure we're good because it starts at midnight. And we might have plenty of time, but if we get there early,
It's all popcorn.
yeah.
Brattle. It's gonna be a good time. I mean, Brattle's good too, but Coolidge is where the midnight.
Coolidge after midnight.
My finger will not straighten out. I think there's some. I have a doctor's appointment Wednesday. I'm gonna tell them. Look at that.
Can you bend it? Like if you grabbed it with the other, can you bend it back?
No.
It's like arthritis, man. Does it hurt?
No. Look, it's weird. It's like a bumpy.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't know. It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt.
No.
So that's good. Yeah.
It's just that one finger. I could always bend the tips.
Well, I'm glad you're going to the doctor.
Yeah. It's just a checkup. Actually, it's not even a check, but it doesn't matter. All right.
What do we got here?
I had that happen to my finger before.
How long did it last? Just stay there?
I guess if I pull it out a little bit, it can go. It's still like bumpy over here, see? Anyway, I'll ask. No, it's like.
Well, that looks like a wart.
No? It's like a bone. It's the bone. It's a bone. It's a hard bone.
You know, things in your body can be calcified.
Yeah, but it's not a wart, yeah, because I had a wart before in my finger.
Well, to be
looks
continued,
like I think I broke it at some
the
point.
Concerns about Neal's knuckle. Neal's knuckle,
I broke it.
2024. Broke it on what?
I don't know. It looks like I said that's what it looks like though. I broke it and it just stayed there, or jammed it or something. It didn't straighten out.
Do you want me to fix it?
Boom! I was swanging that Triple H sledgehammer trying to break up ice in the yard. Dang.
Sweet. I broke ice this one year. So I have this giant long sledgehammer and started on the ice. And you know what? It broke.
Oh really?
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna head out, and then we'll review Darkman later on tonight.
Yes, you'll see us in the wee hours of the East Coast morning.
Maybe at IHOP.
Probably at
Yeah.
It's not really a lot of options. IHOptions.
All right, so
what we got. So
we used to have Victoria's
thanks for
Diner.
being
It's not
here.
open late anymore, as far as I know. Maybe it's reopened. We'll find out. I doubt it.
Oh, and our band is getting home. So
yeah,
that's good to see. Good to have you here. Thanks everybody for being here, and we'll be back later. All right.